What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Double A have here. So, I have been given, quote unquote, Dr. Umar Johnson some space, because it's the same old, what do you say, like same old dance with this dude. And I got pretty tired of just saying the same old shit. But the silver lining in doing videos on Umar Johnson is that I get to open the eyes of a lot of the blind Umar Johnson followers. Not so much to get them to quote unquote follow me, but just to lead themselves. That's pretty much what my channel is about. Leading yourself, trying to get people to understand that you can lead yourself. And the better you lead yourself, ultimately, the more profound impact it'll have on the quote unquote black community. Now, all the other, community activists and stuff like that, all that stuff is great. I'm not trying to, downplay that or poo-poo it. All I'm saying is that it starts. The most anyone can ever do is going to take place in the four walls of their home. That's it. I think we need to get back to focusing on the basics. You hear that a lot, especially in sports. I've played sports my whole life, and it's always the same. Let's get back to the basics. Let's get back to the basics. Back to the basics. Even in corporate America, I've heard that a few times. Get back to the basics. So, same for us. We just need to get back to the basics, and that's being men, being pillars in the home, and then by extension in the community, and handling our business accordingly, holding each other responsible and accountable. And simple things like that goes a very long way. But I digress, because that's not what this video is about. This video is about, obviously, Umar. So I seen this video maybe about a month ago, and then I saved it so I could speak on it. So here we go.
Here in Boston, who I have a lot of love for and a lot of respect. And DL asked whether or not if you feel like you would have answered anything differently in the Lord Jamar interview. And so
the Lord Jamar interview is an interview that, obviously, Lord Jamar from Brand Nubian. And if you don't know who Brand Nubian is, you might know Lord Jamar from the guy that was always on Vlad TV. So a couple months ago, Jamar and Rod Digger had Umar on. And it was a pretty good interview, actually. And it's one of the first times that we actually get to see someone ask Umar, head on about the school and what's going on. And so if you haven't seen that interview, definitely check it out. I think I may have done a video using that video as a backdrop. I probably did. But if not, yeah, definitely go check out the video. I mean, the interview, it was a good interview. And then obviously it got, I'm not going to say heated, but it definitely turned into a little bit of something. So with that being said, that's the interview that they're talking about.
I'm unfamiliar. I don't know what that interview entails. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
So
let me speak to it.
Okay.
See, so I don't know who this woman is, but I would hope she knew the question she was gonna ask. So I mean, unless the question just popped up right now on the screen, and maybe she doesn't know anything about Umar, but I've noticed a lot of this about when Umar does interviews. It seems that the people are just like super fanboys or fangirls of Umar, and or they really just don't know anything about Umar, because then they get on the radio with him and they're like, champion it with him, like, oh yeah, nah, those haters, and not knowing that Umar has done some shiesty shit. Now, am I gonna sit here and say that Umar doesn't have haters? No, he definitely has haters. Like I said, everyone's got haters. But he, some of that hate is justified. Again, now I personally never sent money to Umar, me personally. So personally, I have no issue with this motherfucker. On a personal, I don't know Umar Johnson. But for the people, for the brothers and sisters, mainly the sisters, a lot of sisters are the ones that are actually donating to this guy. A lot of them, if they have, if they quote unquote hating on him for because of that, then hey, that's legitimate in my opinion. But let's get back to the video.
I was interviewed by Lord Jamar, former artist of Brand Nubian. I'm a Brand Nubian fan. I love the music, the old school music. And when I did the
product placement, see his book up, product placement. Little does he know that they have this banner blocking it. But yeah, that's product placement. Do what you gotta do to sell your book. And to all y'all out there, do what y'all gotta do to get your hustle on. Especially if it's in a productive manner. You're not trying to break down the damn community. Definitely do what you got to do. I'm not trying to hate on Umar in that regard, but just that's just what it is. That's product placement. Not bad. He probably should have had a bookshelf in the back. With I'm not even sure how many books he's written. I think he probably wrote 2 or 3, but I could be wrong. But regardless, that's how I would do it.
Lord Jamar interview, I thought I was being interviewed by a colleague and a supporter. I didn't know Lord Jamar was an undercover hater.
See, and this is part of the issue here. Anything that anyone says that goes against anything that you think or say, now that person is automatically written and cast off as a quote-unquote hater, quote-unquote sellout, or quote-unquote coon, all that nonsense. And this is very prevalent in the black community, the quote-unquote black community. Very, very prevalent. And it stems from, in my opinion, that bitch energy, which I always talk about, that feminine energy that a lot of dudes have. Because the feminine way is, my way, I'm gonna do what I want to do when I want to do it, all that shit, right? And real men understand that the world doesn't work like that. I mean, in your household, yeah, what you want when you want, yeah, you control what the hell you can control, but the majority of things you can't control. You have no control over it, and that's why I call it the bitch ass effect, because that's where it stems from, and that's what it's pretty much about. Oh, I don't like what you said. So now, instead of, having some dialogue or just understanding where the rift begins and ends with our ideas, I'm just going to, try to castigate you and paint you as a freaking hater. And am I going to sit here and say that Lord Jamar is not a hater? I don't know. I can't sit here and say definitively whether he is or he isn't. But what I can say is that from the outside looking in, that's not really accomplishing anything. Because not for nothing, Lord Jamar obviously has a podcast. He has a little bit of notoriety. He has a following, so between the two of them, they could get things done. You know what I mean? If they really wanted to come together, work together, and form that coalition. Now, for those of you that know Lord Jamar, you know that he's a quote-unquote 5%er. So pretty much what that equates to is that the nigga ain't going to get nothing done. And I know a lot of the 5%er brothers out there probably not going to like that comment, but let's just be real for a second. Because I've had a bone to pick with y'all for a little while now, man. Again, no disrespect, but y'all 5%er brothers, y'all know damn well y'all not out there accomplishing shit. You all right? Because if y'all was really about doing things, you probably would be in the NOI, or at some point you probably would have converted to full blown Islam, because y'all 5%, y'all just, man. You know what? My brother asked me the other day. I was talking to him about the 5%, and then he was like, because I was asking, I was like, talking about like the highest levels of 5%ers and like the ones with the most knowledge and shit. And he was like, how come you never see? He said, you notice you never see them. And I was like, yeah, you're right. You never see, like, what's the highest grand level of 5%er? How much knowledge does that person have? I'm not trying to call these brothers slow or inept, but it's just like, come on, the lifestyle that they have just lends themselves to not really be all in and all invested in those type of things. So anyway, with Lord Jamar being a 5%er, we know good and damn well we can't look for him to be out there accomplishing anything really for the most part. He's just gonna smoke his brains out and mumble over the microphone. And again, no disrespect, no shade to Lord Jamar. Like, it is what it is. At the end of the day, if you're not cool with the image that you put forth, then that's a you problem.
When I come into an interview, Sister Teller, if I'm aware that I'm being interviewed by a hater, I'm prepared. So when I went on Roland Martin, I knew a hater was going to come for me. You feel me? I remember I was interviewed in Connecticut one time from a brother. I knew he was a hater. I thought Lord Jamar was a supporter, so I was bothered.
And here we go again. He's trying to box Lord Jamar into this hater category. So in his mind, his hater and then supporter. Look. Just because Lord Jamar asks you tough questions about the school, doesn't make him a hater. Those are the same questions that I would have asked your black ass, nigga. Those are the same questions that any real nigga would have asked your black ass. And I'm telling you right now, we not hating on you. That's just doing a good interview. Oh, this nigga just, trying to call them haters. Nah, man. It's called performing a good interview, asking good interview questions. Those are the tough questions, Umar. It doesn't make him a hater.
In that interview, because I'm like, oh my goodness, I thought you was down with Dr. Umar. I didn't know.
See, and again, he can be down with you, Dr. Umar. Look, it's real simple. If anyone has seen the video, the interview, y'all know what I'm talking about. And if y'all haven't seen the interview, stop this video, go watch the interview, come back to this video because I'm about to get some spoilers. So look, nigga, he could be for you and down for you and still ask you those questions, nigga. And the shit still could have went gravy. All you had to do was be able to answer the questions. And that's the problem with you, Umar. You can't answer the questions because you're up to some shit, my nigga. And when I say up to some shit, I don't mean up to some shit like actually trying to get a school open. I mean you up to some other shit. All right? I'm not just gonna call you a full-blown scammer schemer because I don't like to speak on things definitively that I do not know definitively. But I can tell you that something ain't right in Denmark. Something's right in Denmark, motherfucker, and it's you. So Lord Jamar asking those questions, a real nigga would have just been like, oh yeah, so the reason why the school hasn't been opened yet, and then follow up with all the receipts, and then hey, so we have a new date that we're aiming for. We need to get such and such fixed. The quoted price to get these things fixed is this much money. If anyone out there knows anyone that can do this work that's verified, great reputation, all that stuff, send them our way. It'll be greatly appreciated, and that's it. Pretty much, this is what we need. This is how much of it we need. This is when we plan on getting it done. This is what we need in the meantime to help expedite the situation. And that's it. That's it. And I said this before, Umar Johnson has never pinned himself down with solid numbers. Like, oh, we need $1.2 million to get this done by this date because we need to get this and this. You never hear him say that because as long as he doesn't put a fucking an amount on it, he could just keep on fucking asking. He can just keep on asking. Because niggas done lost track of how much money he didn't even got because he never fucking said an amount. All he says is, hit the cash app. This motherfucker sound like a old time Baptist fucking preacher. No, but for real though, that's just what it is with Umar. For instance, if you juxtapose Umar's actions with what Tariq is doing right now, trying to get the Hidden Colors Museum. I forget what the name of the damn museum is, but he's trying to get a museum built in Crenshaw, right? He got this whole plan ready. He got a video ad out for it and everything where he literally goes over all the details, and that's something that people would like to get behind. Actually, let me rephrase that. Because obviously people like to get behind them or anything. But what I should say is that with Tariq, that's something that, right-minded people don't mind getting behind. Because they see what is going on is very clearly communicated, and their expectations are there as well. What's to expect. With Umar, man, look, if you started donating to Umar when he first started asking, there's a good likelihood that you're dead by now. Because think about it. If you think about the numbers on death rates for quote unquote black people, because that's the majority of people that I would assume would be donating to Umar, right? Would be black people. And then if you're obviously in those age groups, especially as a black man, you're more likely to be dead now than having anyone in your family go to Umar school, and that's sad. That's actually terrible. So. Yeah, go check out Tariq's video too, because then you'll see how it's supposed to look when you're doing it the right way. Umar.
You wanted to bring me on your platform to try to undermine my work. Now, as far as would I have answered anything differently, not at all. Never that.
Nigga, because you didn't answer nothing, motherfucker. That's why you got on your little unicycle, metaphorically speaking, and just fucking started pedaling around in circles. You didn't answer nothing. You said, "Oh, I don't need help. I don't need help. I don't need help." Oh, okay, you don't need help. Okay. Mm-hmm. But that school still not built yet, right? You don't need help. And then in his next breath, you go to say, "Oh, I know the people that I need to help me. I got them already." So nigga, so you got the help. So it sounds like you got the help. So it sounds like you do need some help. Or which one is it, motherfucker? Or is you lying? This nigga like, yeah, I got TT, Pookie, and Day Day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they all gonna help me. Yeah, nah, I got people. Thinking about imaginary people. Would I have answered any questions differently? No, I wouldn't answer anything differently. I would have hopped up on my unicycle and just kept pedaling around with my dunce hat like I did in the original interview. Come on, dude. Come on, Umar. Like this is my issue with you. Like, bruh, this is your opportunity for the people that watched the interview and was like, damn, Umar, you kind of dropped the ball on that one. Damn, Umar, I wish you just would have said that, because obviously you do have some fans out there, Umar. You know what I'm saying? You got people that really follow you and really down and ride with you, right? And I guarantee you lost some of them niggas and women during that interview. And this right here is your opportunity to come out correct and be like, you know what? Yes, I would answer some things differently. I realized that, in the heat of that, because it came across that Jamar was coming at my neck. So I got defensive, and I shouldn't have. I should have remained even keeled, level-headed, and then answered the questions as they were being asked. So let me clear that up right now. So yes, the school isn't open yet, but I'm aiming for this date, this time. All we need to get it done is, HVAC, and that's going to come out to this much, and the HVAC unit was wrong with it, and go into all the details. And it's easy to do that when you're telling the fucking truth. When you're telling the truth. And I say this all the time. Look, man, the older I've gotten, and I'm not old, you know what I'm saying, but as I've matured, I should say, or some people would say matured, as I've done whatever the hell you want to call it, I begin to notice that things don't surprise me anymore. I'm not surprised. And I see through people's lives. And because I see through people's lives, then that limits me being surprised. You see, it's like a circle. So Umar is lying. Because when someone's telling the truth, and for those of y'all that, because I know people, always want to know if someone's lying to you and shit like that. Look, if you want to know if someone's lying to you, just listen to what they're telling you. When someone's telling you the truth, it just flows, okay? It just flows. And you can tell it in their body language and the tone of their voice. You can tell. When someone's bullshitting you, it ain't gonna make sense. All you gotta do is start pulling on the strings, and it's all gonna come unraveled. So when someone's lying to you, what they try to do is speak so fast and throw a lot of stuff at you and wow you. That way you don't pay attention to the strings and start to unravel them. So yeah, Umar, it's very easy to unravel him. And that's what happened with Lord Jamar. So even still, even if the nigga is a scheming ass nigga, right, and lying and all that shit, even still, Umar, you should have sense enough to say, hey, that wasn't a good look. Let me get on this Spark Online Radio platform, and then hey, at least I could make up some fake ass numbers, because that interview was months ago. That interview with Lord Jamar was months ago, so now I can come and I can smooth it on over. But you out here saying I want to change nothing, bruh.
Everything that I said, and the bottom line is, what institution is Lord Jamar building for black people?
Ooh, I'm so happy he brought it there. Let me rewind it just so y'all can hear it, because I'm about to go in on this one. Because this is a question that I get asked all the goddamn time from my quote unquote haters out there. And look, and this question is one of the laziest questions anyone can ask. And it's so funny that people think it's like the nail in the coffin question, but it's not. It's just very lazy. And I'm going to explain to you why.
I have answered anything differently? Not at all. Never that. I said everything that I said, And the bottom line is, what institution is Lord Jamar building for black people? Okay, you help Vlad rape.
So look, he's asking what institution is Lord Jamar building for black people. Now, when people ask me that question, they don't say institution. They say, what are you doing for the quote-unquote, what are you doing for the quote-unquote black community? Huh? What about you? What about you? Nigga, if you don't shut the fuck up, what about your bitch ass, huh? I'm making these videos. I'm teaching, well, not really teaching. I'm just putting forth the understanding that you got to stop blaming the quote unquote white man for every goddamn thing. That you got to take accountability and responsibility for your own effing actions. You got to look back at your family's lack of accountability and responsibility. If that's the case and you are in a disenfranchised situation, you have to look at the choices that your family has made, and then you have to come to grips with that. And then going forward, you have to put a plan in place to move your family out of that situation. But it starts the second you tap in. That's what the fuck I'm doing for the quote unquote community, because it seems to be a very foreign idea. Free thought. It seems to be very foreign, and it's sad that in our community, quote unquote community, because I've gone over that at length, in our quote unquote community, that whenever anyone, like I said, me, I got a very small YouTube channel, and I have, a very small following. Shout out to, the ones that have been with me since day one, that check out the videos and like and comment and share it. I really do appreciate it. I do get notified. I do see that stuff. Shout out to Elijah Irvin. Shout out to Robert Smith. Shout out to Evie. I don't know how you pronounce your name. Is the spelling Eve or Evie? You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, back to the video. So look, that's what I'm doing. I'm spreading the message right in the homes through the phones. Most people listen to me through their phones. Okay? And that's how I'm getting to them. I'm getting to brothers in their homes, in their phones. No homo. That sounded kind of crazy. But y'all get what I mean. Explaining that the best thing that you can do sometimes is work on you. Would it be great if you could build a school and a playground and all this shit? Yeah, that would be phenomenal. That'd be phenomenal. But if you can't, which most people can't, because whether they don't have the finances, they don't have the planning skills, they don't have the right people around them to make these things happen. Hey, you know what you can do? You can turn your life around. You can start living a better life, all right? You can get reconnected. Then you could pass that off to your family, your friends, your seed line, all right? And then it will grow. Because when you're holding yourself accountable, then you can hold others accountable. That's how it works. You can't hold people accountable if you don't hold yourself accountable. And I've said this a million times, and I'm going to say it a million more. It's that simple. The quote-unquote black community doesn't hold itself accountable because no one holds themselves accountable. And we're led by women who are fucking allergic to accountability. So as long as we're being led by women, we ain't doing shit. We ain't getting shit done. All right? And no disrespect to the women out there. Look, I love women. Love. Like Jay-Z said, girls, I do adore. Look, but y'all not leaders, man. That's not what y'all was put here for. Everything is beautiful when it's in this right place. Everything's amazing when it's in this right place. For instance, if you walked into your friend's house, right? And then you like, oh man, like I gotta use the bathroom, bro. I'm about to go use the bathroom. So you're like, all right, whatever. You go to the bathroom, you open the bathroom door, and inside the bathroom, the second you open the door, there's a motorcycle in there. Now, yeah, it's a nice looking motorcycle, but what the fuck is it doing in the bathroom? That don't look right. That don't even make no damn sense. You got skid marks on the marble floors and shit like that. It's just looking crazy. You got no room. You got to try to slide in, slide out. You know what I'm saying? Anyone that's been around a motorcycle, them shits is heavy. So you can't even like move it over. You're trying to, bump it. You don't want it to fall. You get what I'm saying though? Things are great in its proper order. If you pull up to your homie's house and you see the motorcycle in the driveway, looking all cleaned and waxed and everything like that, hey, that's dope. That's what's up, bro. How long did you have that? I didn't even know you had that. As opposed to you go to the nigga bathroom because you got to take a shit or whatever, and then the nigga got a motorcycle in the bathroom. And then it's like, nigga, why the hell you got a motorcycle in the bathroom, bro? It's not even about, oh my God, that's a beautiful motorcycle. No, you ask all the different questions. You see how it changes? Huh? You see how everything changes. Your whole mood is different. The questions you ask are different, rightfully so. And that's how it should be with women leading. When you walk into the quote unquote black community and you look at women leading, it's just accepted like the fucking norm. But no, it needs to be the same thing. Like if an Uber pulled up and you got in a car and it was a dog driving, you'd be like, well, hell the fuck no. You ain't leading me nowhere, nigga. I'm getting the fuck out. That's how it should be. And that's how it should be. And I know there's a lot of the wokey out there, a lot of the super liberals out there. All y'all niggas will go, oh, I can't believe it. Oh, I'm about to get in his comments now. I can't believe he son said that. Look, man, y'all niggas need to grow the fuck up, all right, and hop the fuck off. Because everything I'm saying is straight fact. It's fact. It is fact. The black community is overwhelmingly run by quote unquote liberal black women. And that is a problem. You go into the quote unquote white community, guarantee you, if you saw all the women just leading shit, you'd probably be looking like, something ain't right here. Something just ain't right here. You know what I'm saying? But then you go home, you take your black ass home, when you led by all these women, you're like, oh yeah, this is right. All these women telling me what to do and calling me trifling and shit like that and, coddling me. That's cool though. Oh my God. Huh. Y'all can tell it's been a while since I've done these videos because I'm just letting this shit spew right now. I barely even got into this shit in a minute 25 seconds. I guess I'm gonna come back with a part 2. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna come back with a part 2.